What are your frustrations as a South African who loses 5 hours of electricity a day, literally today? What are your frustrations on that?
I am as frustrated as you are. Load shedding affects me.
When last did you experience load shedding?
Every time you experience it, I experience it.
So you don't have a generator?
No, I'm experiencing load shedding the same way that any other South African is experiencing.
It costs 10,000 to get a generator. You telling me you don't have that?
Well, actually there are other means. You can have solar panels, you can have other things.
Exactly. You don't have that?
Well, we try. We've got other alternative sources.
Henda, you are now entering a space for Black history.
Podcast and Chill Pulemabe, episode 376. Reaction.
No, that's amazing. So you had a question, eh?
Yeah, have your opinions on the nationalization of mines changed?
Well, my opinions on the nationalization of mines have not changed. I still believe that through the state taking an interventionist approach, we can be able to broaden the scope of ownership for our people. The Youth League's call for nationalizing the mines at the time was more about talking for those communities, making sure that they could have greater benefits. Nothing. The country. So we were fighting a correct battle. And what did the ANC government do? It then decided to establish a state-owned mining company, made some interventions through the mining charter to allow for bigger ownership of those communities. And for us, that was a middle ground. And we said we can live with this middle ground. What we now need to do, we now need to make sure that our people are given the right skills to be able to participate in that area of our economy.
That's a good statement, that one.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to practice that one?
No.
Why is it that you have? Why can't you just say what's in your heart instead of like?
You want to speak like that around the braai.
Yeah,
I do. This is how I speak. You can ask Burefil, you can ask my team. I speak like that.
because I think that's where you guys lose us, or maybe it's just me.
Well,
If something damning about you like were to come out and a journalist were to write it, would you not use your power to kill that story?
I don't have to kill stories. I'm not a murderer of stories. I wouldn't do that. I have, in my short life, I've faced things that were storms. And I still went and responded to those. I never said I can't respond to this or that. No,
Yeah, what was happening when you were accused of sexual assault?
not assault, harassment.
Harassment, yes.
Upon adjudication of over the matter, facts presented, the case was thrown out and I was taken
So
back.
how did you guys get to the settlement of like 50,000 rands? There was some money settlement.
No, we never had settlement. We never. I saw it in the press.
Yes, I saw that too.
So maybe
that's
I don't know,
50,000 rands.
because I never got there.
Yeah,
I think
you killed that one. Eh?
Yeah, no.
50,000 times.
I like Zizi Kote. He's a rock star. Eh?
Oh, party.
Hey,
You'll
Sisi
see him at the
Kote.
Chenpi match. You'll see him at the July.
Last time I was with him
the
at
hottest
Taboo.
girls.
Yeah.
You probably had hot girls around.
Yeah. You not so much, ne?
No. I'm easy.
How the parties he invites you to, his parties? Probably throws the best parties.
Well, I'm not a party person, so I'm easy like that.
Or you don't go to his parties?
Well, if invited, I go. But I don't go out to look for invitations.
If you don't get an invite,
Political mode. Please. You as a South African citizen, not the spokesperson of the ANC, just as Pulemabe, 14 years. Ntate. But he said we must call him by his name. But
yes,
Ntate Pulemabe. 14 years of load shedding. Eskom, hundreds of billion rands in debt. I'm very frustrated. I lose like 5 hours. And it doesn't seem like load shedding is a thing that's going to end tomorrow or the next year. Because I've had 14 years to fix it. It's not fixed. What are your frustrations as a South African who loses 5 hours of electricity a day, literally today? What are your frustrations on
Legit
that?
question from Saul. Legit.
I am as frustrated as you are. Load shedding affects me.
When last did you experience load shedding?
Every time you experience it, I experience it.
So you don't have a generator?
No, I'm experiencing load shedding the same way that any other South African is experiencing.
It costs 10,000 to get a generator. You telling me you don't have that?
Well, actually, there are other means. You know, you can have solar panels, you can have other things.
Exactly. You don't have that.
Well, we try. We've got other alternative sources.
These people are chowing money, man.
So you haven't experienced load shedding in a while?
No, I experience it.
Yeah.
Remember, even with the alternative sources, you do experience load shedding.
Yeah. But I think for me, I don't correct me if I'm wrong, ne? I think people only react to things that affect them. So for example, everything that you're talking about now, the whatever, Deep Sloot, I'm not from Deep Sloot, so it doesn't affect me. I don't see that. I don't see the solar geysers or whatever. Just like you. Load shedding doesn't affect you because you get into your nice car, you go to your nice house with your nice solar panel, generator. So obviously it won't...
But let me show you something. How load shedding affects even a person who has got a generator.
Okay.
This is how it works.
Yeah.
La o na le generator. Ge motlakase o tsamaya, ne? The generator kicks off.
Yes.
And then when the electricity comes back, you see that thing that happens between your electricity switching back from, so you moving from the grid back to the generator, or vice versa. People lose appliances. So it's not true that when you have got a generator, where now
But I'd rather lose an appliance than not have electricity.
No.
I'd rather lose an appliance than not have electricity. I'd rather lose a kettle. And it doesn't happen on a daily when electricity comes back. So this guy is talking, le out here Porsche le bafethu. Pule, le out here Porsche le. I think this is an interview where Maui Pera, you would get the feel that money is child. I mean, for someone who can't answer a simple question, you would on a generator, yes or no? Yes or no? Do you have a generator? Do you experience load shedding? Do you experience the struggles that a normal citizen is experiencing? Can't answer that. Yet they still want us to have the same faith or belief or hope with the ANC will still do good things. I think this guy was just sent on this podcast to angazi, but you know, more floppy than life in then nihleli phansi as a family, then you ask yourself ukuthi, which one person would you send to represent the family? Someone who knows how to maneuver around difficult situations, and then you choose that specific person. So this guy was chosen just for that. He was chosen just for that. You can tell that he's BSing us even when Usol says, as a person, as a South African, forget your political status, forget your political connections, forget your political rankings, or forget the position that you have. But as a South African, are you not affected? As a South African, are you not affected? He failed to answer that. He failed to answer that. It's a fraud of an interview, man. I think Uguti, this guy was that's why he was chosen just to, show face. I think he was chosen to. You can't even. They ask you, Uguti, do you accept invites when your friend invites you over? But because of your friend has groupies, your friend has slay queens, you cannot even say yes. You're sitting there like a puppet. Dude, get the F out of here. Le out here Porsche bafethu. I'm sorry to say, but le out here Porsche le. Ah, not happy with his response. And Omekji was even making it lie to him. Like, break it down to simple terms, my guy. What are you saying? Speak to the people. I think these terms, these political terms, it's what made people disconnect from political interest. Because if they no longer speak to normal people, but they now speak to politically minded people, and then the normal people, they know what they'll only want freebies. That's how they get their votes. They are no longer speaking to a normal South African citizen. Speak to us like you're speaking to a baby. That's how we wanna understand you guys. But in Anisvalela ngaphandle. When the start of a video, you broke an entire speech. I couldn't get shit that you say. Then masking vote, it's on us. Ah, guys, get real, man. Get real.